Diddy stuff. Child, Diddy bop, Diddy stuff. So Christian Combs, Diddy's twin, is now accused of drugging and assaulting a woman in a new lawsuit. Child, if it ain't one thing, it's another. If it ain't one Combs, it's the other. Okay. So Diddy's youngest son, Christian Combs, his moniker is King Combs, has been accused of drugging and assaulting a woman in a new lawsuit. Christian now joins his father as he battles serious allegations accusing him of SA. Diddy was hit with at least 5 lawsuits, blah, 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 blah. Christian is now facing a Jane Doe claiming she was SA'd and drugged by Diddy's son. Just a few days ago, allhiphop.com reported that a lawsuit implicating Christian will be soon coming, and here it is. The lawyers representing several of Diddy's accusers, Tyrone Blackburn, claimed that Jane Doe planned to sue Christian. Since then, Vibe is also sue. We suing lawsuits. Child, at this point, is anybody innocent? Is anybody innocent? Is they all guilty, Jesus? Because Christian, like, I didn't do nothing. Again, but it's a lawsuit. It's an accusation. It's an accusation. And child, and sometimes people think that I can do what the other person did because they got. Okay. Now, it's a Diddy want the kids to remain worry-free amid stressful federal investigation. Okay, I said, well, I can't stay stress-free if my daddy on trial and on the line for all these things. Okay, where is it now? Stevie J was talking to TMZ. I'm not gonna play it, but Stevie J was talking to TMZ. Now, first of all, Stevie J being the come save me character witness when he's a piece of shit too. Stevie J's years on Love and Hip Hop and how he did me, even how he did Jocelyn or whatever, and just how Stevie did women in general. Stevie picked Jocelyn, who was a prostitution whore from a strip club, and basically kind of pimped around or whatever. So miss me, Stevie J. But Stevie J said, I've never seen Diddy do anything foul. And Diddy, and 50 Cent just wants to bring down the black community. And I was like, first of all, I get it. You're him saying I've never seen him do these things. Because people don't do this in front of people all the time. There are many husbands who don't beat their wives in front of their friends. That's why when the couple divorced and the wife pulls out the photos of black eyes, people are shocked. People do their dirty deeds behind closed doors. So it's one thing to say, I only know him as a good person. People do not do their dirty deeds in front of their friends. They don't. But Stevie J, you have a reputation of also being not a nice guy. So, I mean, you're not the best character witness, in my opinion. Okay. Then the people on the news. Well, let's get to Misa, because Misa Hylton is Misa Hylton. Let me do it this way. Misa Hylton, we know, is Justin's mama, and we kept saying Misa gonna be pissed. She's gonna be fussing. Okay, upset. And sure enough, on her IG page, she posted. Now, first of all, y'all know she got this footage from Diddy. She got the footage because this is footage from Diddy's compound of the raid. Okay. Now, I have never been involved in a raid. I've seen them happen, so I'm familiar in that aspect of things. I feel like People are talking. If YouTube knocked y'all out, let's come on back in. It is knocked me out. If YouTube knocked you out, come on back in. I'm gonna give y'all about 5 more seconds because I know it knocked y'all out and sometimes take y'all back to the beginning or whatever. So come on back in. Okay. But I feel like they're like, oh my God, this is horrible. This is excessive force. You know, why are they, and why do they have guns? Why are they? I'm like, it's a raid. It's a raid. You know, she brought up how they had a gun to the kids' heads. I was like, the gun was actually pointed up and not really, it didn't seem to me like the dude was trying to purposefully point anything at Christian. It looked to me like they came in the house and was asking, okay, where is everyone? Come on out. But because they had to they have to secure the scene. I said, Misa, they detained everybody that was in that house because it's protocol. Okay. And I fully understand her, because if this was DJ, if this was anybody I was in with kids, I would understand them being completely horrified seeing their child go through that. However, you do know your child's father has lawsuits against him and they are investigating him. I feel like when you know your child's father has a lot of stuff that's going on, don't have your child at the house. To me, it's equivalent of, I know my baby daddy is a drug dealer. And if they raid his house, I'm pissed at the police for raiding his house. I was like, no, ma'am, you should be pissed at him for getting himself in trouble and then had y'all kid at his house. Now, I said before, Diddy and them probably had no idea the houses were going to get raided. However, this was not excessive force. If you notice, they actually were just going in the house, securing to be sure. Diddy has armed security. Diddy is accused of a lot of stuff. And Homeland Security, that's the gear for a raid. That's literally the gear for a raid. And they did not, like, they didn't kick in no door. Okay. The dude had the gun pointed up to the wall. And while looking around, the gun did, but he was like, they didn't, that ain't, you know what I'm saying? I feel like she round here, and let me read what she said. The overzealous and overtly militarized force used against my sons, Justin and Christian, is affordable. First of all, ma'am, them folk did not know they would be there. They did not say, you know what, we know that Justin and Christian is there. Let's go in and get them. They didn't know who was there. So your sons were not singled out. Puffy allowed his sons to get swept up in his shit, and so did you, because you was pissed. And I'm not blaming Misa for wanting to speak up and defend her son, but you talk cash shit about Diddy when Justin got that DUI. You were pissed at him. You were pissed at Diddy for that shit. Talking about what he has going on at that point in time. So I feel like, one, they did not know who was in their house. They went, from what we see, from the footage they put out, they slowly was going in because they did not know who was there. Hell, Puff wasn't even there. Period, in my opinion. Okay. So making it seem as if, the use against my sons, everyone in that house got the same treatment, it seems. It seemed like when they came across somebody, hey, hands up behind your head, walk to us. Okay, let's go out. While they wasn't arrested. They were put somewhere separately while thing was going on. Just saying. Okay. If these were the sons of non-black celebrities, they would not have been handled with the same aggression. Now, I don't know if there's other footage that we did not see, so I can't speak to that. But I do feel like Christian and Justin are both grown children. Okay, Justin is 30. He's 30. They're not children. Even though no one wants their children to be traumatized by people coming in with guns. But guess whose fault that is? Diddy. That's Diddy's fault. They were there for Diddy. And when raid teams come in, that's how they come in. That's how they come in. I don't know how they did Epstein because I didn't see that. we can only base this off of what we see. I didn't see what happened at Epstein's house. I wasn't there. I wasn't there. So what I've seen raids, we've seen them raid fucking cartels, and they do that shit. We've seen raids happen on TV shows and movies. We've seen raids happen on social. We're not gonna act like when we see raids happening, they be all. It's the same thing. When they raid regular people, this is what they do. When Billy Bob, who has a meth lab over there in the country somewhere, and it's raided, this is what they do. They go in with guns and they rally everybody up to see what's going on. Just saying. The attempt to humiliate and terrorize these innocent young black men is despicable. I was like, first of all, y'all released the footage. When the raid first happened, the news got wind of it going on, and the news stations went with their helicopters and they recorded it. The news, the Channel 11 news, I believe it was like when they heard that Diddy's house was being raided, they got the dang on news chopper and got all the aerial footage. I'm like, maybe people don't, maybe they really haven't seen what happens when people get raided. And when you have a huge mansion, when you are accused of trafficking and all this stuff, I feel like Diddy is to blame. Who are you talking to? Anyway, Misa being pissed at the people who did a raid is stupid. Be pissed at Diddy. Be pissed at Diddy. Be pissed that for whatever reason, there are these accusations, and he's been investigated for multiple accusations of this stuff. Okay. Thank you, April, for super chat. No, not super chat. CashApp. When people are accusing him of all these things and they're investigating him for all these crimes, if anything, hey, while I'm going through this, I want y'all to be elsewhere. I don't want y'all in this at all. But guess where both Christian and Justin were? At a house that was being raided because of Diddy. That's what a raid is. Had Christian and Justin not been there, the way they would have raided the house, it wouldn't have been no different. They was, no matter who was in the house, they would have came in that same gear with their guns, because that's how you raid shit. Your son just happened to have been there, and then to keep everything safe, hey, let us put you over here, detain you over here, safely over here, so that you can't run away, you can hide evidence, because we're here looking for shit. We don't know y'all. So stay over here, and that's fine. I'm just saying. So to me, Misa's upsetness should be at Diddy. I cannot believe that you have all this going on, and my child was in the house when they came looking for your ass and for your evidence. That's the point. Enough is enough. That Justin needs several laser beams from firearms pointed at his chest. I mean, if the firearms have lasers on them and they don't know who you are, and you come around the corner, they didn't shoot. And it didn't look like once they got Christian and Justin set, one at a time or whatever, they just walked them out. Hold up, make sure you're okay, pat it on down, and come on out. Come towards us, put your hands up. We don't, because what if, handcuff and that's it? Okay, handcuff and that's it. So to me, in my opinion, I understand her being upset at the situation. What I do not understand is her trying to make it seem as if y'all came in and knocked the wall down, hit my child in the face. My child is terrified now. My 30-year-old son is terrified now. We have seen cops kill people. We've seen cops do worse for less reasons. And your two sons was at Diddy's mansion doing whatever they want to do, and were detained for an hour or two and went back to partying. A part of being a homeland security is securing the home of the land. So I just don't like the notion that as if Justin and Christian were victims of something. Come on now. Diddy allegedly threw a dumbbell at that boy's coach. It was then banned from coming around the school. Okay? It was not excessive. It wasn't excessive, is my point. I get it can be traumatizing because you don't expect it. That part I get. But don't make it seem like they made this, they knew the sons would be there and they wanted to make an example out of the sons because they just knew. You know how nobody knows when people will raid stuff. You know what I'm saying? They can't, we're going to raid on Tuesdays. Okay. We're going to raid on Tuesday. Because on Tuesday, I bet that ain't how it go. That ain't how it go. They raided that man's house. And then remember, at the same time, the house in Miami being raided, the house in LA being raided, and the airport that Diddy was at was also, they was around there too. So we can't make it seem like, that the police were trying to attack them. They weren't. They literally detained them because let's not forget, we saw everybody in the house was outside. Not just Justin and Christian. There were other people there who was also detained too. Go sit outside while we go through the house and look for what we're looking for, and then we out your hair. They wasn't arrested. They weren't taken down. Nothing. Did Christian need a gun at his head while he was handcuffed? How many times have we seen young unarmed black men not make it out of these? Girl, again, I understand her wanting to support her son and stand up for her son. I fully get that. I fully get it. However, that ain't this, sis. It isn't. When you was pissed saying you should have kept your son with you, that's it right there. Because if your son wasn't at the daddy house, he would not have been involved in this. Wrong place, wrong time. But don't make it seem as if, the homeland, the folk is trying to traumatize y'all adult children. I don't agree with that. I don't. They are, and I'm ignoring it. Child, I'm good. I learned how to ignore. Anyway, them folk was talking about the authorities have been investigating Diddy for a long time for trafficking. The case was top secret so much so that the agents who raided his house did not know it was his house until they got there. Because again, I've said it before. You don't know when they coming. The IRS, the FBI, Homeland Security, you never know when the folk gonna be there at all. So I want Misa to make sure to hold Diddy accountable for whatever actions he's accused of that has caused all this to happen. Because the house would have never been raided if Diddy was not under investigation for trafficking.